Hello, Chris here of Chrscraft, bringing you the 6th game in the ASUS ROG Stars Invitational final between SeleCT and IdrA. This is SeleCT's map pick, Antigua Shipyard, MLG Antigua Shipyard. I'll go over some of the intricacies of the map in a minute. But in the bottom right we have the blue Zerg, IdrA, who is currently 3-2 up in this best of 7 series, so it's match point for IdrA now. And in the top left hand corner we have SeleCT playing Terran, and he's nice colour red at the moment. So this map is before the changes to MLG Antigua Shipyard that happened before Providence. It has this gold base in the centre, which is good, very good for Terrans. If they get a planetary fortress up here, then it can be pretty much GG immediately. If you remember what happened in the game on Zelnaga Caverns, as soon as SeleCT got the planetary fortress and the well defended base on the gold, IdrA pretty much GG'd on the spot after throwing away his army trying to kill it. I mean, gold mineral is obviously a huge boon to any economy, but that's not the issue for the moment. The issue is what we're going to see from both our players. I think we're going to see a 15 hatch from IdrA. 15 hatch obviously pretty much standard, especially from IdrA. And from SeleCT, I think we're going to see some Hellion pressure again, and I mean, his factory timing is pretty much going to say that too. The reason I say that is because of this natural. If you see, this ramp is fairly wide. It's certainly wider than Chrscraft's plateaus, and he went Hellion there. And also, if you look, there is a huge open space here, which allows Hellions to sneak around, get multiple attack paths, which, you know, is obviously advantageous if you're using a very mobile unit and want to poke and prod from various angles. On the other hand, defending this main is quite easy. You can just put down an Evo chamber and stick your queen there, and then they can't get up very easily. So that is a double-sided sword there. Double-edged sword, rather. Why am I doing this at 3 o'clock in the morning? I'm not making much sense. But definitely this natural is a threat from Hellions, and I definitely think that's what we're going to see. Approaching 100 gas here, so I would be very surprised if we don't see an immediate factory from SeleCT. He'll probably use this SCV, and factory. Come on, confirm my theories. There we go. There's a factory from SeleCT. IdrA's pool just finishing up, and as is his expansion at about the same time. And mining's going to start pretty much immediately. I wouldn't be surprised to see SeleCT like plop down a bunker just there, just to, you know, just to put IdrA a little bit on tilt and force him to do that. But nope, we're not going to see that. We're just going to see a reactor Hellion pressure, probably into expansion from SeleCT. This map very good for Zerg. But in the early game, this third base here is quite easy to take. All you need to do is spread creep to there, and then you have a nice, efficient pathway to defend your third. If you see this, and we'll see a command center from SeleCT, and seeing things 2 seconds into the future there from me. Building the command center straight here, but he knows the risks of doing this. But there are no Zerglings out for IdrA this time, so we're not going to see a repeat of the last game in which he, you know, pretty much lost his... Oh, no, sorry, there are 2 Zerglings, but not the 8 there was last time, denying this, so we're not going to see that being denied. 2 Hellions coming out for SeleCT. We'll probably see that, you know, pumped until 6, maybe 8. That's how Reactor Hellion works. They're pretty good for putting on pressure, especially with this wide open natural. On the other hand, this wide open natural makes it slightly harder to defend Zergling run-bys. We'll probably see a bunker go down. That would definitely not surprise me. Walling off here a little bit just to stop Zerglings be able to get into the main as easily. And as I said, I think we'll see a bunker. Oh, Zerglings coming in to scout. Are they going to see anything? No, they are not. Well, they see the command center, which I suppose is the important thing. They know that SeleCT isn't going in for any crazy double factory blue flame Hellion pressure. These Hellions don't give it a damage for no real reason. They didn't really achieve anything. A spine crawler down for IdrA, so he'll obviously get a bit of a poke on anything that comes by. Oh, picking off this creep tumor, that's pretty good. He obviously wants to deny creep spread as much as possible. That's 2 creep tumors going down there. That's quite a lot of energy wasted for IdrA. That's not going to be able to spread itself anymore, unfortunately. So he's going to have to place some more down. Evo chamber going there, so trying to complete this wall off and try and force these Hellions around here. That's definitely a wise move. He wants to limit the maneuverability of the Hellions. We see a second gas and a starport for Select. So, you know, this is pretty much basically what we've seen in all the other games. Nothing wacky from either player, and IdrA going for a lair and taking 4 gas. I am certainly shocked. We do see the Hellions getting in here a bit, and the drones pulled very much in time, so they're not going to get any damage here. Might kill a few Zerglings, but that's what they're there for. Speed not finishing up, making it a little bit harder. Denying a bit of mining time, but losing more Hellions than they've denied mining time, certainly. This starport is up now, exchange around with the reactor, build 2 medevacs, as we will have seen a lot. Select looking very thin on the defense force thing. I think we have 2 Marines, 4 Marines, plus 5 Hellions. And what we will see from IdrA is we will see this lair finish, and then we will see a Spire, and then we will see +1 Zergling upgrade, and then we will see centrifugal hooks, and a nice Muta Ling Bling play again. It's very effective, that's why he does it over and over again, and I mean IdrA's macro is incredibly strong, so it works. I don't hold it against him that he uses the same thing most games in TVC. Trying to remember the matchup there. Combat shield going down for Select. We do have Stim, was researched before, at about the same time as all the other games. So both players playing pretty much standard, as we saw on all the other maps. But the last time that both players played standard was the last map, and we know how that went, certainly. A bunker going down for Select. Where's the bunker? Oh, behind this line here. So we're going to see Select move into a defensive posture. He knows these Mutalisks are coming. He knows he's going Mutaling Bling. There's centrifugal hooks, that's bailing speed, and makes them actually move at a rate that actually allows them to hit something. And melee attacks from IdrA. So, you know, as I said, fairly standard play. A third command center coming up for Select and IdrA. Well, IdrA's hatchery, obviously. Creep spread looking pretty good for IdrA, so he's going to have no problems defending this at the moment. He may have a little bit of a problem with Hellion harass. There are still Hellions up. I don't know. But what we do see is some medevacs just outside this base here. So we could see some elevation play, plus various other things, but we're not going to see any elevation play if he loses all of his units, which we're seeing here. There's a nice quick pick up and go there from Select. Well, pick up, move slightly back, drop off again, and then probably have to pick up again as these circles come down here. And Mutalisks have popped. The Eagle has landed, and we see actually these Mutalisks taking quite a lot of damage. And these Marines definitely worth their while, but these medevacs are going to get picked off too by these Mutalisks, so that's going to be quite a hefty loss for Select. These Marines not going to do enough to stop that, but there might have been enough to delay these Mutalisks chasing these medevacs a little bit. And that's a second medevac going down, and a third medevac. Good there, and picking up these Marines and running. So Select saving a couple of units, nothing too much. Obviously still much in favour of IdrA. We see the units lost tab as indicative of that too. I wouldn't be surprised if we see IdrA take a 4th base here. Now, maybe this gold. This gold not so easy to defend, especially as you can stick siege tanks up here and just nuke this base from high Xel'Naga watchtower, and it's pretty much really hard to hold, really hard to take back this position. This, especially with this gold base, it's both a strategic good point and there's the gold, so it's, you know, it's really advantageous for Terran to take that. Well, it's advantageous for anyone to take it, but specifically Terran, as they have planetary fortresses and tanks. Breaking out these rocks here, so we will be seeing a 4th base down here for IdrA, down in this bottom of the map. We do have a command center that went down a minute ago for Select, but we see this orbital command is just going to see a pile of creep. Not good enough, I'm afraid. Not going to be able to pop that down. And oh, we're going to see these Mutalisks do quite a bit of damage to this command center. Not enough to kill it, certainly, These Marines chasing them off. This Marine tank force looking pretty potent. But we see that IdrA has a lot more stuff. Here we go. And we see Select realizing that he can't land it, so this is going to delay his expansion. I can't remember quite how long it takes this creep puddle to reside, but it's not reside, disperse, one of those words. But it's certainly going to take Select longer than he wants. IdrA at 144 supply and doing some nice harass with these mutalisks, picking off these lone marines in the base and going for this reactor. Nope, he's not gonna. He's gonna back off pretty much immediately. Build 4 more mutalisks and get +2 melee attack. As we can see, I mean, he plays the same build effectively every single game in Terran vs Zerg, but it's just so good. Not as a IdrA fanboy, by the way, like Protoss. He wouldn't like me. But I do think his play is very good, and as we can see him picking off this army from Select here, he does have some Marines left, but no tanks. We see the worker transfer to this third. Still hasn't landed it. The creep has resided. I don't see any more creep. No, no more creep. And a little bit of engagement here. These Zerglings pick off these things, these Marines, and these Mutalisks going to back off. I don't know why. I think Select pretty much could have died there if IdrA decided to look. It's really not looking good for Select here. If he loses this game, he loses the tournament. This is the ASUS ROG Stars Invitational, and it's 3-2 to IdrA. I can't remember the prize pool, but I'm sure it's pretty good. And IdrA is probably rubbing his hands right now. Well, he isn't, because he's macroing. But he would be. Ooh, actually, this Mutalist taking quite a big hit there, but I don't think he cares. Cleaning up those Marines. IdrA's just so far ahead. This is a pretty deadly clump of Mutaling bling here. We don't even see his infestation pit like we did in previous games. I think IdrA's just going to go for a kill move, breaking down these rocks here pretty fast. So we'll see a run by onto this expansion here. Unfortunately, these supply depots aren't going to be up in time. Just breaking down these rocks to give him an opportunity for a counter-attack vector, and here we go, forcing a stim and then backing off immediately. Good play, did a bit of damage to Select, and no losses from IdrA. IdrA very nearly maxed out here. Actually, he's not that close to being maxed out, but you know, closer than Select is certainly. IdrA is. Actually, the army disparity isn't as much as it seems just by looking at the supply. On the other hand, IdrA's economy is, I mean, the numbers say it, double the income for Select, but there are no mules out for Select, so it's not as dire as it looks for Select. But it's obviously not looking great for Select either. 26 Zerglings coming for the thing, as we see a nice little engagement here, blowing up a few of these siege tanks. The siege tanks obviously being the brunt of this, stopping these bling force running over these Zerglings. Quite a lot of banelings here, and as every time he loses a siege tank, that's one less siege tank. Pardon me, one less siege tank that can stop this baneling just rolling over these Marines. Marines obviously not a counter to baneling, very much not. These Mutalisks are going to go in for a little bit more harass here. Probably pick off this refinery, or this missile turret first. But that's a pretty big Mutaflock, as we've seen in the previous games. His Mutaflocks get up to 30. Infestation pit, just finishing. I was a bit slow noticing that. But, you know, that's how it happens. Picking off this engineering bay. Does he have another one? Yes, he does. It's over here. So he's not going to lose the ability to produce turrets quite so quickly. We do see a hive and a pathogen glands upgrade from IdrA. So I think he's going to back off a little bit. I was obviously wrong with him thinking he was going to do a bit of a kill move. He was just delaying his tech a little bit, as of what we've seen in the previous games. Hive obviously gives access to Broodlords and Mutalisks, and also +3. I believe I'm right with that. God, I'm going to be embarrassing myself if I am wrong with that. But I'm pretty sure it gives you access to +3 upgrades. We'll be seeing Bastion down, so we will see some Infestors, possibly not immediately after it finishes. We have seen him perfectly content to wait before getting Infestors, but no, here we go, Infestors coming. They will finish after Pathogen Glands, and Hive will be finishing about the same time. On the other hand, Select is going to try and take this gold base here, and he needs to defend it. I think this game is going to be pretty much hinged on who, whether this gold base goes down. IdrA doesn't want this to happen. This will be a massive boon to the economy, and it doesn't look like IdrA's going to let it happen. And this command center is very close to dying here, and there it goes. Boom. And no hairdryer, it's not an orbital command. And these siege tanks going down too. IdrA, actually the supplies have leveled up a little bit, and in terms of army supply, it's still in favour of IdrA, but not massively. A lot of marine count and not a lot of siege tank count from SeleCT. We see SeleCT in a last-ditch effort, moving his orbital command from his main into this gold, but I don't think that's going to be enough. I think IdrA's got this. 6 corruptors coming for IdrA, so we'll see them pretty much immediately mortared up. Oh, that's a nasty fungal growth there. A lot of marines dying, or another one. Oh, SeleCT can't keep that up. And now we see the orbital command coming down here, but it's not a planetary fortress. There are no turrets. This Mutaling force is going to rip through it. There aren't any energy for fungals currently, though there probably will be in a minute. Oh no, just see a couple of invested Terrans, so it's not as bad as it could be for SeleCT, but it's certainly pretty bad. Sensor tower, so he's going to see these nuclears come in and do quite a lot of damage to that orbital command. He is repairing it with a few SCVs, and IdrA's just deciding that actually no, I will engage this. Ooh, bit of miss micro there from IdrA, taking a pretty big hit from that Thor. Not quite magic boxing properly, but we do see IdrA with. Wow, I didn't meant to see them. A base here, and a base here going up, and a base here going up. I did see that one, and this one obviously went up, so IdrA is rolling with his economy here. Doesn't look like it, but that's because there are currently 3 mules and a load of SCVs on this gold base. But IdrA's economy is in a very good shape. And obviously IdrA about to max, select 30 supply behind. Which isn't fantastic. IdrA with the massively better thing. But, oh, these Broodlords out of position here. But these Marines are going to be cleaned up on the oh, I wouldn't like to be that Marine. That's quite a significant pile of Marines that just got picked off by those Banelings. Broodlords coming here, just doing a little bit of damage, and are going to besiege this gold from the top. And obviously, I mean, these Broodlings are going to do a lot of damage to these SCVs, but that fungal will. Oh god. Oh, I wouldn't want to be an SUV. Marines obviously very effective hits them, but not when they're fungled. Oh Christ, look at all the HP on those. 15 HP on those Marines. That's not good at all. This gold base is mineralized with picked to pieces. And oh, this is disastrous for half the supply of IdrA almost. 2 infested Terrans going down. This siege line basically doesn't exist, although this last Broodlord going down. But no, there's 6 more coming. I don't think IdrA's too worried. A lot more infestors. If you can get a couple of those massive fungal growths off, then we will see a vast improvement. SeleCT behind 20 workers and 80 supply. And there's not much coming back from this. This is playing out as it did in the last 2 games. Just SeleCT just slowly dying. I mean, there's no moment you can say he lost the game. It's just, there we go. And GG from SeleCT, taking the ASUS ROG Stars Invitational Final, 4-2. I just said that SeleCT won. IdrA takes the series 4-2 and takes the $ amount. I'm not actually sure how much it was. It was probably in euros. This was in Europe. But so, that's this series over. And I will see you later for another set of games. I don't know which ones yet, and I don't know what else I'll be doing. But I know I will be back. And thank you for watching. Goodbye.